difference from game one is OMG this time around are taking away the Corki. So LGD not going to be able to at least replicate the exact same win conditions that they had in game one.
I mean, look, as we go through, I don't think like pick and ban these days for the first 3 picks really needs to be talked about. Aphelios, Jinx, they're both up. Teams are going to take him. There is a Xin Zhao on the side of OMG. There's a Xin. That'll probably go to LGD. Thresh is available. Nautilus is available. Leona's available. Lyric, I want some spice. I want like the comp from in game number 2 from LGD felt so different. And as Nautilus gets locked in, they're like, oh, we'll take Aphelios next. It all just falls into place. It's so predictable at the moment. I can't wait for 12.2.
Here's what you could do. You could say what pick you want, and you could will it into existence.
Like
I mean, right now, we might be getting something slow.
No, we'll get Xin.
Okay.
Xin will get locked in, right? Oh, no, okay. Good. You know what? If I say the picks that should get locked in, maybe we get the opposite. So we get Viego, which is a nice little change. We get the Leona we talked about. Lyric, there's going to be an Aphelios. But solo laners, dude, I think Rumble's going to get through for Shanji. Just this game.
I can't imagine. I think especially when you look at OMG side right now, you have a lot of setup. I do like that you're saying it, though, because it means it probably won't get through. Oh. OMG going to stay consistent in terms of taking away the LeBlanc. I think with LGD's comp, they are a lot more prone to skirmishing with the fact that they have this Viego coming through, looking for those resets and setting him up. So something that can work well alongside him would be nice. For LGD, we already know that Yeji does have a massive champion pool, like we highlighted earlier in the day. Heck, he even has brought out things like the Echo, the Graves mid, the Renekton mid. So this man is willing to go a bit further down his pool. Things like the Vex are also always available, which has been slowly declining in priority, which isn't surprising. There is actually a 30 pick gap between Viktor, Corki, and anything else.
Yeah.
Corki being at 40 picks, and then Rise at 14, Vex at 12. So, we're gonna see if either of those go through. Viktor is still open, so either side can opt into that one. But both teams having a bit of engage right now would open up for things like the Vex to be able to come out. OMG gonna be the ones to take away the Viktor though, so
that's new.
Hysterics, sadly, you didn't will the Tryndamere hard enough.
Hey, you know what? The crazy thing is, what I'm looking at for LGD, and the reason I could get really excited at this comp, Orianna would still make me excited. There's a lot of resetting here. We get the Viego, we get the Jinx, excited or passive coming through from Shadow. We also get the Ornn here, so LGD, back to the team fight, not just about the skirmishing. Lyric, I feel like it's full blown towards the late game.
Look, you got Fearness on your favorite champion for him. He showed what he can do in game one. You were all about it, so we're going to see if he can replicate it. You have a lot of ball delivery system on the side of LGD as well, whether it is Shadow or JinJiao being the one to bring that in. And now OMG going to be rounding out with the Gangplank saying, hey, we're going to have a tank. We're going to need time in this laning phase, being able to get GP up to the point where he's strong. You have a ton of kiting potential, as that's what GP loves to do. Running forward with your barrels, a little bit awkward. Running back when the enemy's coming into you, super easy to set up. Still, though, Jinx on the opposite side can make it a bit annoying, but the fact that you are Gangplank, Viktor, and Aphelios, I think makes it pretty simple. And both teams, I think, having different dimensions, right? There is some kite back. There's some range where you can tether your opponent, try and outplay. But both of you do have engage. And if we do get to points where you're baiting objectives or trying to set up turn potentials, the options are there.
At least, Lyric, it's somewhat of a difference. At least we get things like the GP, the Viego, the Orianna. For Yeji, again, we talked about his champion dimension. Lyric, is this champion number 10? Or we already got an Orianna from Yeji. I'm going to look this up. I want to answer my own question, so don't answer.
He has played it once. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, dude.
There's a delay.
You're in America.
I was going to say you're across the world.
Dude, Australia and America aren't close to it. We played a game today on NA. I got 207 ping. Like the good old days before the OCE server existed. But yeah, it is far away. At least we get Yeji on, one of those picks we talked about. 9 individual picks. Unique, I should say. And coming into game 3, let's see how we go, because Shanji on the GP, Fearness on the Ornn once again. I just want to see some team fighting. I want to see some blood. But these comps show me one thing, and that we might have a slow game until 6, Lyric.
Oh, we are. Not you think. We are definitely going to have a slow game. We're going to be able to kick back. I'm going to do it right now. Kick back in the chair, you know.
I might get my chair.
Lean down. Oh, true. You have a standing desk. And wait for that solid point where Rift Herald comes up and we potentially get our first bit of action. See one team have first move, the other team back off, but not start moving bot in time to actually get vision down, trying to take away camps to do anything. And then guess what? We're going to be waiting for dragons.
Oh, that's new. That's different. Kind of exciting that we're waiting for dragons. Lyric, you know, coming into this series today, I'll be honest. Again, if the audience hasn't already heard this, I thought it was going to be a stomp. I thought OMG, we're going to take LGD's credit card, go spend all the money, send it back to them, give them the $4,000 bill, walk out on them, and then never see them again. Or at least, you know, not till next split. However, LGD had a dud credit card. In game number 1, they gave them the Visa. And the Visa card, no money on it, doesn't matter. The bait cancelled it a month ago. And OMG got baited in, and unfortunately, you know, LGD found out.
I gotta say, if you steal a credit card and then use it and mail it back, that is pretty hilarious. So I hope that's what OMG do, not only figuratively, but literally break into... Okay, actually, I should stop. I should stop before I stop.
You're as bad as me at this point. I'm so much better. This split, I am... You know, I'm more refined and not being as much of a... What would you call me? What have I been on broadcast?
Words that I shouldn't say on broadcast would be the way I would be the way I describe you on broadcast. Yeah.
Hey, look, we are in a game of League, and there's expectations set out by our audience. Where do you want to start in this game? Because we did say, you know, we wanted to kick up our shoes. I actually did get a chair here for this game number 3, so I've almost broken my monitor, unfortunately, to pull the boom mic down here. What's your focus for this game, as junglers might meet in a second?
Ooh, I like this. I thought Aki maybe would just go for a full clear towards the top side, but how aggressively LGD's bot lane is played, be sitting for a gank. Was spotted out though, so LGD are expecting this.
I mean, they might just run into Aki. JinJiao ignores Wind becomes lightning. That's a flash dredge line. Cole gets him on the rim. Eric flashes away. And that summoner for Cold's definitely worth it, with Jinx now being exposed.
You know what? We will take it. No flash on Eric. Sets up for potential repeat ganks coming out from the side of OMG. We see their bot lane passes pushing in pretty aggressively. Won't come anytime soon for the fact that Shadow Pat's down here. Aki also going to lose a lot of time considering he free camped to clear his bot side. Into that bot side gank. So going to have to run all the way across the map to keep farming, which will give Shadow a little bit of an advantage in terms of speed. You know, we'll be able to get his recall off faster and try and find any potential opportunity to sell. For the side of LGD, you can try and see if you can find something early top, maybe off your reset from Viego, but actually
Found
getting mid.
Another flash comes through. JinJiao's a level 2 Leota Lyric who's just decided to go for a walk.
That's one thing, you know, we can give credit to JinJiao for consistently is he's always been linking up with Shadow and moving towards mid, right? We've seen this in every game so far, where JinJiao is consistently looking for these timings on mid to put pressure on Creme. Has worked in a couple of the games as well, has blown flash now numerous times. So, at least utilizing that window well, where they hard forced in that bot wave. The bounce back gave him time to look for the roam potential. We once again have the culls coming out, knowing exactly what to look out for.
Yeah, we're going to be farming. Level 6 almost hit, though, with mid laners here as Cold starts moving around. And I will still be keeping what you said about this game in the back of my mind, where, you know, 6 is a very big point around these neutrals. Dragon's coming up in 25 seconds. Herald in 3 minutes 30. I want you to know that, you know, while we've been lulling about a bit, seeing a couple of flashes here and there, I did look up what XX is doing right now. Shong was last seen on LNG October 2020. I don't know where he's gone. But just to prove my point before, how you were wrong and I was right.
Wait. We need to look up where Bogey is. Yeah. He is also nowhere.
Ah. But a lot of players are nowhere. Not even last year, but this
Don't
year.
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Icon.
I know who's nowhere.
Oh,
You don't need
Mole?
to say his name.
Mole.
He's too
Yeah.
precious for you.
So upset that Mole, if you guys don't know who Mole is, you've been living under a rock at the best time for the V5. Lyric's favorite team is hang on in the bottom lane. They want to abuse that no flash. Aki's coming in, and this is a bit of a bait onto JinJiao first. He's level 3 Leona, so still squishy enough with the two-man grabbing him. One was the minion, guys, as flash away from JinJiao. Pays the respect of Aki. Second time he's come down in the bottom lane, Aki wants to be a busy boy with Abel and Cole.
Great to see Aki making these repeat plays and trying to punish on the back of previous plays. Also, with the fact that they have a Gangplank in top lane, don't need to put focus up towards there. Shanji has been able to keep up consistent lane pressure as well. LGD going to look to contest this one. Yeji has first move, but LGD's bot lane won't be able to join in until a bit later. And the fact that they're missing out on summoners could be quite easy to turn on for OMG to turn on their bot lane.
Yeji, Cannon Barrage, flashes away. That was pretty obvious. We can see that coming from a mile away, but Dragon is stopped with JinJiao and Eric moving in, so it is a flash burn, but OMG lose priority in the objective, and LGD regain some control in River.
If it wasn't so early on in the game and Dragon wasn't hitting them for so much damage, I think even there might have been more worth for OMG to wait for LGD's bot lane to get closer, because they were rotating over because they did just, neutralize the wave in bot side. And then you can look to turn on their bottom lane who doesn't have summoners available. Just drop the cannon barrage on the Jinx and Leona and full commit. Maybe be able to get some kills out of that as compared to just the flash coming out from Yeji.
One I'm going to keep track of, though, because no flash on the mid laner. Eric's still not up and available. JinJiao's too, who's a little bit under-leveled. Cold's coming up very shortly, so... We also saw Cannon Barrage from Shanji up in this top lane. And Lyric, we've got a minute until the Herald comes up, so I think when we've talked so much about ultis in this game, it's worth tracking. When Arky will be hitting 6 very shortly. Herald? No. Sorry, excuse me, Scuttle Crab. A Shadow getting close to. Shockwave's still there. So, ulti is going to be the name of the game coming up for the objective in the top side.
The sad thing is that the ultis that are coming out on both sides right now will pretty much just tickle, right? Shockwave, not going to do much. Same with Chaos Storm on both sides. We're really going to be looking at the big impact teamfight ultimates, things like Call of the Forge God, or the ultimates coming out from either jungler, Shadow trying to set himself up for big damage into resets, Aki just trying to mitigate the damage coming in and buy room for Abel and Creme to come out. So top and jungle ultimates, I think, will be the most pivotal in these team fights, as well as supports, right? Just any lockdown. The damage not going to be on the board just yet, as LGD already kind of positioned towards the top side with Shadow, but still with the way bots going right now, we need their bot lane able to move over just yet. Shadow going to try and find his way into the Herald pick, probably by getting a pick onto Shanji first.
But there's a ward
Shanji,
over the
though,
wall.
is paying respect.
I mean, there's a cheeky little ward where the blast cone is, so Shanji well aware. Aki moving up to the Herald as well. For OMG, they're a step ahead of the play with wards already controlling that pit. You can see Fearness moving down as well, Lyric, but Creme has just teleported back in. Bottom lane's moving up, and it's OMG's bottom lane that come together first.
Yeah, now they're going to be able to get into position. Shanji as well is still on top wave, so he's going to be able to get that one in and start making his way to River. The fact that Fearness is coming early, he will lose something, but Call of the Forge God is up. No cannon barrage for Shanji. Can be pretty pivotal.
Be close in 10 seconds, but the trigger's pulled. Call the Forge God onto Aki, who's by himself. The Crescent Guard available, though. Blocks some of the damage, but Shadow's in as well. Reset there, but on the Shadow, he goes into another being. He turns into the Crescent Guard himself. Abel picks up that kill, and for LGD now, they want to take away the Herald, but it's a fight, it's a bloodbath, and I think it's OMG who pick it up as Shanji takes the Herald for himself. The Cannon Barrage now back up doing its own work as Cold ready for the dredge line. Creme flashes over the wall, and Yeji walks into the gravity field. Once again, another member drops down as OMG lock down a double, 3 kills in the game, and the Herald, a bloody disaster for LGD.
OMG, though, going to be able to make their way up towards this top wave. I wonder if they're going to look to use this one right now. They do. They just drop it instantly. Go to get some plates onto Abel. Abel does have, the Severum available, so be able to push this one down. No chakrams, though, sadly, so not going to have that same amount of power. Just get some gold onto Abel. Let the backs come out.
He's
Send Shanji down towards that bottom side, but Dragon's up. This could be a potential window for LGD to look for, with the fact that they're already sending their duo towards that bottom half of the map.
Lyric, that's a 3-0 Aphelios. He already had Berserker freeze. He's about to pick up more plating. As we go into this replay, I mean, we were scattered on this because Shadow actually got the first kill onto Aki.
But what we said, right, the key ultimates would be these big CCs, not the damage coming out. They do find the initial kill onto Aki, but still no follow-up immediately after. And Shadow getting taken out right away is we're going to come right back into the map. They're trying to dive Shanji.
It's a dive that's gone horribly wrong. He doesn't even need Cannon Barrage. JinJiao looking for an escape, but doesn't find it. And LGD, Lyric, they're behind 2,000 gold at 10 minutes into the game. The bottom lane of OMG have stayed to the top side. And I'm still in my chair because I think at this point for OMG, they've got firm control and moving into the mid game, they are going to be huge.
Ooh, Fearness is okay. Actually, nothing's here. OMG should just be able to break down this turret with the next wave coming out. We're looking at where LGD do have their focus, and it is towards the bottom half of the map. They're going to try and start up this dragon, knowing that GP's on the bot side. This is what we thought LGD would look for. I'm actually surprised they're backing off. They don't see Abel and Cold on the wave top side anymore, so they at least know the resets probably come out. So maybe that's why they don't feel comfortable to look for the objective, but I feel like LGD had so much time. Instead, though, they did opt into the bot dive rather than just taking the free objective in the dragon.
And they got nothing. They got absolutely nothing. 1 kill to their name is it. Gold is spanning out. Soon we'll be saying 3,000. And for LGD, sitting in the bottom brush, looking for a play. If they can get the bounty off of Abel, put it onto Eric, we'll be saying something good about LGD again here in this final game of the series. But OMG grouping up. They've got the jungler down at the bottom side. Eric, Cold 6. Here's a depth charge. Abel has an ulti as well. JinJiao spotted out. Solar Flare there. Cold goes in, not out. And Severum there with the clans immediately ulting out again. LGD, stop making the same mistakes. Shadow goes forward, but forward's not where you want to be. Wind becomes lightning, and lightning becomes death. The shockwave comes through. He's edgy. Recovers it. This Orianna builds some momentum and takes away a huge bounty from now a 5 kills. 200 years. What's his name? Aphelios.
The bounty, going to be massive. Nice for LG to pick that up. Still, though, LG committing 4 men to bot side where OMG only needed 3 to be able to get ahead on to come out 2 for 2 in that play. We're going to see the ultimate come out from the side of JinJiao. He is able to get onto Abel, but Cole doing a nice job of zoning out Shadow, making sure he can't follow up on the play. This is where things start to turn. Abel almost have enough damage with the shockwave, saving them in the end and allowing for that kill to go over. Now, with the fact that jungle went down on the side of LGD, OMG were able to keep up vision and pressure in the bottom half of the map, and heck, everywhere. You look at the river, OMG's wards are littered everywhere, so LGD still not able to pick up this dragon.
Hello.
And yeah, we have a lot of patience in this game, in this series.
And with a hot fiery breath, a god with a ram. Can you solo kill as the Ornn looks difficult, but with Shadow to help you out, a flash away might not mean anything. No heartbreaking today as Fearness picks up the kill. Another good move from LGD, and despite the bottom lane dive, despite everything going wrong, Lyric, gold is now less than 2,000, and I can be positive about LGD again.
LGD realized that they need to find these more creative avenues to, you know, find footholds into the game. Their top and jungle are going to be pushing down that top lane turret. You'd expect OMG, though, to be able to push this one down way faster when they do have the Calibrum and Crescendum combo on the board.
Oh, I hate Crescendum so much. Abel is going to be able to get 4 turret plates. Well, close to, sorry, guys. Turret plating has just exhausted itself 14 minutes into the game. TP comes through up in that top side. The Shanji defends, but can't say the same thing about JinJiao and Eric in this bottom lane. Aki zoning them off. This time, it'll be the turret going down. And Lyric, Abel's close to finishing the cull. He already picked up the Galio in the last pack. And while I'm happy to talk about LGD again, at 14 minutes into the game, he has 7,000 gold. Eric has 4.6k. 7,000 to not even 5,000 in the 80 carry matchup.
And I feel like that's so pivotal, right? You're looking at where the damage will start to come online for both of these teams, and I definitely feel like it is in that 80 carry role. Even just the added kill pressure coming out from the Gale Force, right?
Yeah.
You can really surprise your enemy with the fact that you're able to potentially start off, you know, 2v2s, you know, dashing in unexpectedly, Cold being able to follow up. Exactly. You are catching my drift. Just like OMG being able to come back after the fact that they were actually 1 game down in this series and have that solid performance so far. And actually, Eric finished off the call first, Hysterics.
Nice.
Who's the true winner?
I don't know, man. You're going to tell me because they're going to dive again. This time it's on to Shanji. He doesn't have Cannon Barrage available with Call the Forge gone. For LGD's sake, it should go a lot cleaner. Nice chain of CC and Shadow picks up the kill. Third time's the charm. Lyric is OMG are going to trade topside turret. There's always a trade. OMG are never losing something for nothing.
I think overall, though, that's more of credit to LGD, right? Because LGD were the team who needed to look for the trade. They would have lost had they contested OMG on the top half of the map. Instead, realizing, hey, let's just pivot this time around to this bottom half. Are able to get a kill, are going to be able to get potentially another turret on their side. Doesn't look like they will. They do got to be careful, though, of having that Rift Herald. And I like it. OMG are aggressively playing around the spot lane. They could, ooh, Shockwave.
Chaos Storm in response, Shanji! The minions hitting away, got him! It's a solo kill in front of JinJiao! Forget the Leona, dude! The Storm better than the Sun.
With that solo kill, Creme is now tied in first place for solo kills with both Xiaohu and Nu sitting at 6. Creme being a solo killing monster this split so far. Opens up a window for the Rift Herald that comes down. This one is definitely going to be getting 2 charges. And also OMG going to be ballooning their gold lead even further.
Oh my god, I mean, Abel helped take this down so quick. Tier 2 drops, and you know what? I was like, LGD finding some good picks here. The Shockwave excited me. But OMG is so far ahead, Lyric, in this game. I refuse to believe in the potential comeback unless we get to the late game point, because you were talking to pick and ban. After this, not important at the moment. Are you ready for the solo kill territory?
Yeah, Shockwave comes out EQR. I mean, he gets off all 3 of his abilities, even able to flash away. Oof. In the end, Creme is able to step up, is able to pick up the kill. We're going to come back on the Rift C as well. His teammate able to finish off the LDR, but more action.
Yeah, Creme stuck here. The Chaos Storm still available, drops it out onto JinJiao, and it follows and deletes him. It's still a trade after death. As he also teleported down into this bottom lane. Call of Forge God was used. And LGD is still getting picks here, Lyric. 45 seconds before Dragon. Means that Creme will have to TP in and will be late to the show.
I mean, he won't be late to the show because Dragon's up at 37 seconds.
Well,
but
it's like the curtains come down and, you know, in the movie theaters, it goes dark. They play the adverts, and that's like when Creme comes in, so he misses half the advert. Essentially, that's what's happening. Okay.
So if there's any great movie previews, Creme, sadly not going to know about it, but
Won't know about the
for
third
OMG, I mean, for OMG, actually, he isn't going to miss any of those because they have complete control of bot side still. Even having some nice deep wards, you know, near Raptor Pit, 2 spot out LGD are going to get this one. And we're also going to find out what our soul will be after they do pick up this Hextech Dragon. So, you know, potentially Chemtech Infernal. Some big damage.
Hope so, sir. Hope so. You'd be scared, though, either way, because OMG are going to have 2 under their wing. This is not contested. They control full bot side vision right now, apart from that deep ward. In that brush right next to where Tier 1 turret used to be. As Creme pushes forward, as Cannon Barrage comes through on the top side, LGD actually can't stick around. Cannon Barrage slows down LGD's trade, and OMG now with 5 turrets to only 1. Creme threatening this Tier 2 where LGD have to defend because gold continues to balloon outside their favor with Call the Forge God being used to make that defense.
And OMG with a nice rotation down bot side with the amount of time they bought in top with the Cannon Barrage. They have their duo push mid. They wait for another wave bot. They're going to be able to start a siege on this turret, but it is a 4v4 down here.
Okay, well, Infernum helping do a bit of damage behind the turret. That was JinJiao and Fearness who continue to take it out. As Abel is a 2-item Aphelios. You look at this, guys, and you think, well, Fearness not going to stand too much of a chance. He has ultimate available, almost level 11. OMG stand here strong, Lyric. And you look at the top side, Shanji waiting for that Cannon Barrage to come back up. It's like they have Baron. Playing like the next minion wave is going to be able to siege.
Yeah, wanting to put it off with the range that they have, just trying to get the damage off with the Viktor E. Maybe thinking because no Call of the Forge God, if they can whittle it down low enough.
Inferno multi comes out. LGD just back out. That's what you expect. Super Mega Death Rocket is nothing. And Fearness runs away once again. The Tier 2 taken by brute force. And with that, OMG just moved to another lane.
And OMG now getting their gold lead up to a nice 5,000, and it is Chemtech Rift, so Going to be looking out for that Chemtech Soul to come through. Surprisingly now, though, I want to see if Abel finishes off another item, because we do see Eric on the 2-item point now as well. Does seem like the gold lead for Abel over Eric, maybe somewhere around 2K right now, for the fact that he does have those components coming out over him. And pretty close to his Infinity Edge. So once he does pick up that one, he will be hitting like an absolute truck.
Yeah, it'll be the point where we see Eric, Yeji get one shot, even Shadow at this point. And Lyric, I need to ask you, because with OMG holding control for the majority of this game, with the early game we saw that failed dives, LGD putting themselves in a pretty bad position, how do they swing this back? Because there's a lot of team fighting ultis, there's a lot of team fighting ability in itself. That feels like if LGD are able to run this game to 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and actually catch up in some of the items, that I'll be changing my tune a little bit.
I mean, I feel like the big one we're going to be looking out for is Yeji, right? It, like, Fearness, of course, can hit an ultimate. Sure, JinJiao maybe locks someone down. But if Yeji can hit an ultimate onto key members, that will be the game changer. Chain that into a super mega death rocket. It opens up resets coming out from Shadow and will be the way for LGD to get back in. Like, we're not really looking at anything like side lanes or flanks or anything like that coming out from, I'd say, either side. OMG, of course, will have some pressure, but OMG going to start up the Baron and look for a fight themselves.
So the guns for Abel here. He's starting to stack it up as Crescendo going to be interrupted. The flash away. Abel ultis himself. Shockwave doesn't hit the AD carry, though. And now Shadow, even in the reset's going to die down. Exhaust means nothing. Fearness in his face, but Abel, you look at him and you say, ladies and gentlemen, time to spin to win. But we ain't talking about Garen. Abel's still got the shurikens around, but Eric kind of doing the same thing. Aphelios versus Jinx. All it makes me say, Lyric, is bloody hell, they need to be nerfed.
And, well, I mean, all we just saw, right, was the fact that OMG kept progressing forward and allowed LGD to kite, and Abel not able to keep moving, be able to get that damage off. LGD now going to be able to break down a mid lane turret out of this. We saw OMG were the team looking for the fight. They go for the Baron bait, look for the Q. Nice Ornn ulti coming out to buy a little bit of time, sets up for Shadow to delete Creme, but Eric on the opposite side, able to kite out 2 members of OMG, just not, you know, nice job consistently keeping up the auto as well, gets the reset, turns on to Cold as well. We saw Abel not able to follow up on the opposite side with Aki going in. So 10-10 now, Gold extremely close, dragging up in 40 seconds.
The fact that LGD won that fight with a 4 for, I think, 2 trade in the end is huge. Gold was so much bigger and the Baron was getting started up, and OMG were asking for LGD to come towards them. They got a fight that was a dream, and Lyric, I mean, Eric gets praise for that. That sidestep was beautiful. Eric got MVP in game number 1, folks, for a good reason. Running into this game 3, he's in another great position. He's got an Ornn by his side. The recipe for success that we saw in that game number 1, as Wormfall and sacrifices the first upgrade on their Rift. And, you know, Lyric, that dragon you mentioned, 5 seconds left to go. OMG still have the push in these lanes, but they're hovering around topside Baron, while Shanji is looking at this dragon to start.
Yeah, Shanji going to be able to solo do this one. Looks like no members of LGD are even going to think to check or think to contest. So OMG controlling 2 sides of the map at once, even getting their top lane wave sorted. LGD now going to know that Shanji's looking for this one. Nice, you know, diligence by Shanji to back off. Not give that one over to a super mega death rocket, which, you know, thank God that was nerfed from where it was before as well, because I remember last split was a little bit egregious.
Dude, what, 3.5k Dragon or Baron stills? Maybe it wasn't that much, but we were in that territory where it did almost double the damage of Smite. Yeah, I'm glad we're away from it as well. Still, worth paying the respect here from Eric's ulti. I want to point out, before we see anything like a Baron, anything like a setup again, as soul points achieved by OMG, Lyric, we are hitting 3-item territory for a lot of the core carries of both teams. Infinity Edge picked up by Abel here, who's still 6-1. 2.5 items, or 2 and a bit for Creme now with the stopwatch available. And I'm seeing a needlessly large rod from Yeji. I've now got a 3rd item here from Eric. An Infinity Edge as well, so it does feel like in these next fights we're taking stock of ultis, but if either AD carry dies, it feels favorable for the other team.
Of course, and we also got to think about the fact, right, that Ornn items coming out, because Eric already having that upgraded Kraken Slayer on his side, so should have an easier time burning down the members of OMG. Even when it comes to front lines, right? OMG have a Nautilus. Like,
Yep.
sure, again, Xin Zhao is also a frontliner because of how your ultimate functions, being able to buy space, mitigate a lot of damage, but LGD actually do have a legitimate, consistent frontline. They have more CC, more lockdown than you, and we saw in the last fight that if it does become a battle of just whittling down front lines, that LGD will be able to take the cake.
Well, a game that shouldn't have been winnable, right? With OMG's control, with how this early game panned out, it felt like we were going to say GG at 15, but we're 25 minutes in, the game closer, again, than expected. 4,000 gold lead. I don't feel like it starts meaning much when you have an Ornn in your team when you start getting these upgraded items. We've already got 2 there, I believe. I'm not sure how Spectator Mode's dealing with Ornn at the moment, but Fearness going to add extra value, Lyric. And these team fights, knife's edge. Bit of a cop-out, but feels true.
I definitely agree with that, right? It's fair. I mean, in a game of League, in a game this close, right, I don't think it's always going to be super cut and dry or that it necessarily needs to be. So, you know, again, we're going to see how this does pan out, especially when we don't have things coming in like last game. We had Camille's, and it does add more variables in terms of how they're playing outside or how they're setting up these kinds of picks or comps that just have a bunch of disengage and pokes. So, for OMG, they've done a nice job of being able to keep up the consistent pressure in mid to just give them continued access to either side of river and have vision advantage. So that's kind of what OMG are playing off of, the fact that they've been able to control space. LGD would be able to walk in blind. LGD just having that more consistent front line means that they can face check this vision, so it's not a massive loss on their end. You know, had it been the other way around, I think it would be a lot more rough in terms of Cold or Aki having to walk in, as compared to this Ornn, who is just going to be so huge and unkillable the longer this goes.
And I think as well, we're going to take stock of the fact that if Shanji's someone who walks in, or Shanji tries to get set up and he's caught out, that dude's a Divine Sundra, Lord Dominic's Regard, and Collected GP. Be able to use that movement speed to get on out there. So, Lyric, as I hope and breathe we get a fight soon. A minute 35, I feel like that'll probably give it to me, because it's Chemtech Soul coming up for OMG. OMG, who, again, you keep talking about their control in this game, and in the vision, their setup, once again, clearing out towards Baron. I think it's actually starting here with Cold and Creme trying to distract, and right guns once again. Abel sitting it down pretty fast. There's the Super Mega Death Rocket, but it's way too late. OMG sneak it under their nose. And now for LGD, late to the party. Call the Forge God won't matter because Cold and Creme with the targets. Shadow getting out in the backline, Ignite hits down, and Shanji blows up JinJiao. OMG with Baron, with a pick, and it doesn't matter if your team fights better, just don't give it to them.
That cannon barrage coming in from Shanji was so huge as Cold flashed in for the hook. Isn't able to find it, but forces out Flash from Yeji. And now they're going to be able to keep this siege up, wait out for the Dragon to come in 45 seconds, get more damage on Creme, already making his way down towards the bottom side. This should be a massive Baron power play coming out for OMG. Already plus 2,000 gold off of this.
Quick. And into the inhibitor turret. OMG are like, well, forget it. We're not going to go to the Dragon just yet. Pushing in this next wave. Inhibitor will be open, but not broken. And at the very least for LGD, relying on Eric to continue clearing away the wave while Creme's down in the bottom lane doing the exact same thing. All hands on deck as LGD in a quick flash, Lyric. Feels like this game has become unmanageable again.
Yeah, I mean, this game is a 7k gold lead. It feels rough. Especially having control of this Chemtech Fog. LGD just going to circumvent it, go through the mid-wave.
Worry though, Call the Forge God comes through, maybe not as unmanageable as I think as Aki goes with the Crescent Guard, flashes away, not a clean start to the play, but Abel actually going in melee range. For Abel, he goes golden, but maybe the timing before it's okay as the Shockwave comes through. It doesn't matter! LGD use their Orianna and Eric's still alive! Why did Abel go melee? That's a free reset. Eric gets through, and LGD, as quickly as it felt like they lost, no, they're back in the game, stunned up, and Shanji now has to deal with the man who's got a big old sword to deal with his prey. Yeji will go down with a cannon barrage, I believe, but they're running through mid, Lyric.
Yeah, I feel like LGD are just going to try and go. No, they're going to just back off, take one turret, look for the kill on Shanji. Seems like at first they maybe thought they could try and go for the end. Instead, they are just going to end up going to take away this Dragon instead. And man, I can't wait to get into that replay. Did Abel flash in?
I don't know. It was there.
Members?
It was there. I don't know why.
My focus was on like, okay, Call of the Forge God's coming out. We're going to be seeing it to say pit, look at the tanks. and then suddenly it's like, okay, Abel's flash is down, and he is right in front of all the members of LGD. Gale Force into flash right on top of Yeji. Really nice stopwatch. Ozani is coming out from him to make sure he survives. And then Abel's just left in such an awkward position. Eric free hitting on the backside, and yeah, man, that was
a Jackie Love level play. That's all.
I mean, it was a massive gamble, right? If you get in there and you blow them up, I guess they just win the team fight off of that, but put some respect on Yeji's name, able to come through with that stopwatch and able to pull out with the fight victory. I mean, they were 7K gold up before that fight. 7,000! Now only a small 2K gold lead for OMG, which again feels insignificant with where comps are at, with how Ornn items are coming through. And now we are back to waiting. Back to waiting for the next dragon, because LGD now are forced to fight every single one of them.
And you know the crazy thing is for me, like, what I set you up for, Luke, before the play, the 7,000 gold lead, as you mentioned. You know, OMG were in control. It was Chemtech Soul Point that was about to kind of close this apart with a great sneak at the Baron, great little picks as well. LGD now in control after what was a crazy fight that, again, shouldn't have happened. But I feel like this whole game I've been saying that shouldn't have happened. Or LGD shouldn't have a hope in this game. But we've gotten to the point where Ornn items keep coming through, where full builds are starting to become a reality, or at least getting close to, I should say. And before that fight, I was like, dude, what did LGD do? You know what? Wait for the perfect shockwave. Like,
wait for Abel to Gale Force flash in to your backline.
God,
I gotta say though, it looked awesome. I was all about it.
Well, again, that's why I said it was a Jackie Love level play, right? Because people might be thinking I'm taking the Mickey out of Jackie Love, but Jackie Love will take these huge risks. And much like Abel, apparently, the fight or flight mode, and Abel says fight, but maybe he shouted fight a little bit too loud just in that one instance.
Heck, another AD carry who's willing to do things like that plays up next. Actually, two, iBoy and Doggo. I still remember Doggo. I think he was on Tristana at MSI, where he rocket jumped into like 4 people to try to get a reset. He did get it, I think, able to get out right away. But man, it was absolutely nuts. Yeah. So yeah, if you didn't know, if you're just tuning in, and you know, we do have the schedule up, I'm sure, on our channels, but RA versus BLG next. We will get to that because this game getting extremely tense. And by tense, I mean, I think both teams kind of realizing, hey, we're not going to step out of line. We are going to wait for the strike to come up, trying to get to more key items. As both AD carries are now sitting on 5. Eric has opted into a Vampiric Scepter to where Abel actually sitting on the Elixir, going to try and have just more raw stats in that fight than any item he'd be able to complete.
Ram, I was going to ask you, Lyric, who do I look at for this fight to win? Because both teams back away as Baron's coming up in 20 seconds. I need you to point me quickly towards the key ultimates I should be looking for.
I mean, we've already hit him for LGD, right? It is Yeji's ultimate at this point. It is finally starting to do damage. If he can hit a big one, I feel like that's where LGD will succeed. For OMG, it's Shanji. If Shanji can zone numerous people out of an area, maybe get the slowdown set up for a lot of the damage to come out, I feel like it's the way that OMG will be able to win. So kind of Shanji able for one side, Yeji for the other.
Shadow. On the cold, Call the Forge God comes on through. We're looking for that shockwave. There's a knock up on the support, but a lot of zone control out of OMG. As Creme's off to the wing as well. Cowstorm already through. Cold looking for the dredge line, but the Heartbreaker over the wall. Shadow almost caught out. Couple of ultis down, but the shockwave's still there. As Baron spawns and OMG walking to the left of this map, but you have to note, OMG with 3 out of the 5 ultimates remaining.
Yeah, both teams wanting some pretty crucial abilities coming in. Flashes and Summer Spell still up on key carries on both sides. Shadow's still looking for it.
Well, he's going to be spotted out by Control Ward as we continue to ARAM here. The teams are like, you know what? Are we going left? Are we going right? Are we going to wait for the soul? Because at this point, if you go for the Baron, you're giving up the soul because 30 seconds. That Chemtech soul for OMG that would give them a second life. Potentially as well, win the game with how strong it is.
I love it, right? You're both like, hey, we're going to fight in like 15 seconds anyway, as now I'm apparently wrong. Is OMG looked like they just wanted to concede Dragon. Okay. Maybe realizing that at this point in time, LGD are stronger because of the front line that we mentioned, because of the Ornn items that we have already previously talked about.
Will they always be, though?
It's just going to take more time. Oh, OMG, though, going to go for the Baron.
Okay, well, giving up the soul and the potential for fighting for it. They'll be spotted out in the water. It was Creme who TP'd in. Shanji off on the wing looking for setup. Fearness at half HP, Lyric. The Ornn is at half HP as Court Forge God comes in again. Look at this flank from the GP. They turn onto Shanji. Target selection great. Now Baron may go down, but for LGD, they've already got a pick, and they're looking to flank them. Big little Leona ultimate off the back as well. Shadow's got the flanking angle, enables run out of Crescendum. Shadow flashing for the Chaos Storm. It's a messy fight, but Cold's up next, and Eric is getting excited. On top of Arky too. Flashing over the wall from Yeji. The Shadow's still there. He's got Abel into GA for OMG. They're in shambles. LGD on the precipice of winning their first series in the LPL.
And LGD are just going to keep this going. I mean, 40-second death timer on Abel. They can go for this push. They have a wave. They might be able to look for the end here.
But they're going up against Baron Minions, Lyric. I'm skeptical on this one because we talked about the end before. There's a 1v1 going on in River, and I think for right now, Arky's holding him at bay. JinJiao goes down, but for LGD, 4 members strong. Inhibitor will drop, and there's some death timers they have to deal with.
Yeah, gonna have to be worrying about this.
All right, well, the exhaust comes through. Creme actually gonna die. Anticlimactic, guys, but LGD, they're 0-4 in series win, and they're gonna try and end this one as Ram Jam lines down again. Shanji knocked up, sent back, and OMG getting away from their turrets. LGD doing the finishing touch, the shockwave as well, a searing charge, and this is